4 to cap off the triple header. And ladies and gentlemen, we are green, green, green. And they'll race their way under the tower and work their way down. Good move for Cooley to get quickly to the inside, but he will pop back out again. Brendan Cooley ready to go for the lead here as he's on the outside. Everybody else tuck it in. Going to try to go side by side. Cooley's going to come through cleanly. First couple of rows look good. Everybody's getting through nicely. Well done. Out of turn number 1, Cooley able to tuck back in. Connor Aspley wisely gave up that spot. Didn't want to force the issue early. Connor Aspley now going into the 3rd position. You can see the leaders there pulling away a bit. Nice gap early. The opening lap of any race, the best opportunity to overtake. Your side by side, you can make those big moves. Tires are still pretty cool. If you can run those cold tires, you can potentially get through. Cooley dives to the inside a little bit. There's the battle there for 37 of Fisher. Oh, someone's smoking there, coming through there. Just a brake lockup, I believe. Downhill, hard braking into turn number 5. You climb back the hill onto the Corvette Bridge. Another brake lockup there. Looks like everybody's staying on the racetrack coming under the bridge through turn number 6. The blind left-hand apex. They'll start climbing or working their way down the hill through the turn 7 right-hander. Hard braking here into turn number 8. One of the most important parts of this racetrack, getting through turn 8 cleanly, because that leads onto the essentially flat-out carousel all the way around the racetrack here. Then it's the big run from there down through the Kettle Bottoms and then into Canada Corner. Great shot on the outside of the carousel here. There's a little bit of a move further back as the challenge now underway. Jack Jeffers, let's talk about this opening lap. Obviously, you've raced here before in both USF Juniors and USF 2000. How sketchy are these race cars on the opening lap?
They're definitely sketchy, but we've seen some clean racing and everything's looking good. I think everybody's taking a little cautious after how this weekend's been.
I think so. Yesterday was a bit messy, if you will. The first race was actually pretty good. And I'll say this, throughout Thursday, our test day, practice, and qualifying, we went green to checker every session, not a yellow, all Thursday long. The 2 races yesterday on Friday, we had a number of yellow flags, and we lost a lot of laps actually in race number 2 for a wreck down in turn number 3, and it took a while to get that one cleaned up. One driver potentially coming into pit lane, not sure who that is, so a driver has moved to pit lane from deeper in the field. I'll let you know who that is when they come back through here. But the field set, Loiacono, Cooley, Fisher, 1, 2, 3, Ottala. Great job for Vilo Ottala to work his way up into the 4 spots. Cooley continues to put the pressure on Loiacono. Loiacono wide on the exit there, as was Vilo. Wow, Ottala way wide coming out of turn number 1, but brought it back quickly enough. Front 3 drivers trying to stretch away a little bit. Ottala runs in that 4 spot. Good battle there as well for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That is Connor Aspley, Oliver Weldon, JT Hoskins, Patricio Gonzalez, and Joao Vergara. Again, just kind of settling in here. Jack, let's think strategy here right now. Early laps as we got. Let's go back actually to the race because they continue to go at it. Cooley looking to the inside. He's going to get potentially overtaken here. That move to the bottom of the racetrack opened up an over/under for Ty Fisher, and Fisher's going to go to the inside. Book it. He's through. Ty Fisher now goes to 2nd as he slips to the inside of Brendan Cooley. That is going to allow Vilo Ottala to close up as well. So turn 5, Jack, that's it, right? When you make a move to the inside like that, it's almost like you have to get the pass done because the guys behind you running the full race line are going to be able to get the run up to 6.
Yeah, they're going to be able to set up all the way and focus on the run out. So you kind of have to force it in there and make sure you get the position and then, be wary in your mirrors and maybe you have to go on the defensive in the 6 a little bit.
So listen, you've won a bunch of races here over the last couple of events. You swept Toronto, you won 2 races at Mid-Ohio. Liam Loiacono kind of run that same momentum you have right now, winning a bunch of races here in the second half of the season, heading to Portland. When you get out into the lead like this, where he is now, with nobody drafting on you, what's the mindset? What were you doing with all these leads that you had?
It's really just hitting your marks. He knows he's a good race car. He knows he's a good driver, so it's focusing on hitting your marks. And once you get that win and then the second win next to it, the momentum just builds and it all compounds together. So he's got momentum. He knows he can win. He knows he's got a good team behind him. He knows he's a good driver. So everything's working hand in hand.
What about gaps? Like when he comes up the straightaways, is the team giving him gaps on a regular basis? Does your team help you out on the radio?
Yeah, I assume so. I have Braden Eves on my radio, and he's always telling me the gap, if it's increasing or decreasing, and what I need to do, and if I'm losing time somewhere, where I need to focus out on the track.
Looks like Brendan Cooley going to try to go side by side up the hill. Indeed, Cooley's going to go back by Ty Fisher. These are 2 of the youngest drivers in the program here. Oh, I got a driver just blew up big. Someone just had some. That could be an engine failure coming down into turn number 1. Not sure who that was, but a ton of smoke coming up the straightaway here. They'll be looking at that for sure. Not sure which driver that was, but someone had an issue coming up the front straightaway. Not something we normally see out of a USF Juniors motor. These power plants are bulletproof essentially here in this category. They're essentially the USF 2000 engine, but they are trying to figure that. That's Joao Vergara. Vergara, one of your championship contenders, pulls off the racetrack to driver's right, just past the entry, or the exit rather, of the pit lane. Some kind of an issue with Vergara, and that is unbelievably damaging the championship fight. There's a move to the inside for Vilo Attila. He'll go into the second spot as again Brendan Cooley back into second. Now the key now, does Cooley have the pace to potentially reel in Loiacono? Not close enough to leverage the draft at all, but let's see what's going on with that exclusive Autosport number 92. Very similar car to the one you drive, Jack, number 92 in USF 2000. This has really been a breakout weekend, I think, here for Brendan.
It really has. He's made a lot of improvements, and you can see he's starting to get some fight in him and some confidence, and it's really building together. And the improvements are a lot. Same with his teammate Kaylee. They're both making great improvements, but he's getting that confidence. You can tell he's starting to drive like a different person.
Yeah, Kaylee Countryman currently running in the 14th spot. And Jack, you can attest to this. Obviously, you're in the middle of a fight early in the season. You got your first USF 2000 victory at Indianapolis, but then you've gone on this run. A couple of wins at Mid-Ohio. You sweep the races at Toronto. I speak a lot about confidence and momentum with you young drivers. Is that something you feel now that you're going to Portland knowing that you can win races?
Yeah, the momentum's there. I know I've come off some wins, so I know that I can keep winning, but it's also put some more pressure on you because now the expectation is to win. So now the expectation for Brendan's podiums now.
That's it, right? He's got that first podium, so nothing but podiums. There's some really good racing all the way through the field right now, which I love. But hopefully we're going to be able to keep going clean and green here because, again, it was a rough day yesterday with a number of yellow flags. Right now looking very good. Tough one, as we said, for the driver in the number 10 of Joao Vergara. Some kind of an issue there coming up the straightaway. They still have a standing yellow at start-finish. Everybody holding their spot here. They see Vergara to the inside of the racetrack there. At this point, no one's gone out to try to move that car back. It's out of harm's way. He did a great job getting it pulled to the side, so I'm assuming we'll probably just stay green. Here's the 29 of Maddie Colleran at the tail of the field. She has improved in leaps and bounds from the start of the season. Excited to see her roll into her second season of USF Juniors next year, having that full season already under her belt. Loiacono's lead was 2 seconds. Brendan Cooley made the pass, lost about 0.6 of a second. This will be more of an opportunity to see what kind of pace Brendan Cooley has. You see Ty Fisher has gone back by Vilo Attila. There's a fight further back between Oliver Weldon and the 15 of Patricio Gonzalez, another driver coming off his first podium finish. And Patricio Gonzalez finishing in the 3rd spot yesterday in race number 2. The momentum is there for him as well. Just like Brendan Cooley getting that first podium, the same went for Patricio, and you could just see the look on their face on the podium, finally getting that weight off, getting that first step to the podium, and of course the next target will be that race win. Liam Loiacono, though, has been a dominant factor over the last little while. He is the driver in 2nd place in points, but the crazy thing for Liam, who we had on the pre-race show, you think about the wins he has right now, absolutely impressive. He's won 4 races in the last 5 events, 3 in a row now, trying to go 4 in a row. 2 events mid-season for USF Juniors at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. In June, we were there with IMSA, and in July, the July 4th weekend, we were there with the NTT IndyCar Series. All 3 levels of the USF Pro Championships were there at Mid-Ohio. In the very first weekend with IMSA, we had rain in race number 2, and Liam flat dominated in those tough conditions, coming away with a win there. Finished 4th in the opening race when we were back at Mid-Ohio in July, and then won the next race. So at that point, he had won 2 of 3, and then, of course, coming here, sweeping the weekend thus far. There's the lead for Liam Loiacono, and yeah, indeed, Ty Fisher is back there on the gearbox of Brendan Cooley. These cars not overly horsepower, but there's a driver's gone off in the gravel right in front of the screen into turn number 14, likely dropping a wheel on the entry to the corner. And that is going to be one of the Inter-MS cars off the racetrack, potentially the number 24 of Michael Succo. We'll see as they come across the line. Yes, Michael Succo's gone off in turn number 14. Off on driver's left, dropped the wheel. And that will definitely bring out the full course caution. There's no way he's coming out of that. So they'll be able to take care of Joao Vergara eventually as well, but I don't think Suko's getting out of that part of the racetrack. They'll let these drivers race as long as they can because the yellow will eventually come out here, I expect. Loiacono, Cooley, Fisher, Autola, and Gonzalez top 5 across the line. Weldon 6th, Hoskins 7th, 8th, Aspley, 9th, Giat, and 10th, Scorpioni. And there's Autola back to the inside. This could be crucial. Autola's going to try to defend coming back up the hill. Fisher might throw it to the bottom. Yeah, they're going to be side by side. Fisher goes back through at the top of the hill. So Fisher back into the 3rd spot. Autola in 4th. This is going to allow Patricio Gonzalez to close. Still green. Down into the hurry downs here. Ton of action down in that area of the racetrack. We did a little golf cart tour through there yesterday. All the bands going on. The kart track being leveraged for the drift component of this weekend. Great drone shot as they come out at turn number 8. And yeah, here comes that full course yellow I talked about. Indeed, full course yellow as the drivers come through the carousel. They'll woe things up heading to the kink. As the AMR IndyCar safety team is going to have to go pull Michael Suko out of the gravel trap on the exit of turn number 14. So we got 4 laps in under green flag conditions. It'll be 5 when they come back around. So we're at the halfway point, which means Liam Loiacono is going to get the bonus point for the most laps led. He's got the bonus point for starting on pole as well. So he already has 2 points. He's also got $1,500 from Continental Tire, $500 for each pole position. So $1,500 cash from Continental Tire for Liam Loiacono, pole in all 3 races. Brendan Cooley now runs 2nd. Ty Fisher able to take 3rd back from Vilo Autola. Patricio Gonzalez in 5th. Oliver Weldon 6th. JT Hoskins 7th. Connor Aspley in 8th. Diego Giat and Leonardo Scorpioni rounding out your current top 10. Jack, it's an interesting corner, turn 14. It's crucial, as we know. Obviously, you want to get on the power early because that leads into the long straightaway, but it's kind of a bending corner as you come out of Billy Mitchell Bend. It doesn't take much to drop the left side wheels off and find yourself in the gravel trap over there.
Yeah, speaking from experience, I've done that, so it's easier than you think because it is bending and you're looking far right.
Yeah.
You're looking at the apex, so it's completely judgmental as far as how much you want to set up. But yeah, it's a tricky corner and definitely has some complexity to it.
So they're going to get in there and get Michael Suko. I don't know that he made a lot of contact. I think he may have got it woed up to the point where just looking to see what kind of, it may be some front wing damage, but he nosed it straight in. So hopefully they'll be able to get him back out and maybe head back to pit lane. They'll have to clean the gravel out of the radiator ducts, that's for sure, because there's going to be a mess there. So lap 5 in the books, 10 laps in a 30-minute time window. Driver off in turn number 14 is indeed Michael Suko. Joao Vergara, as we said, an issue for him. Some kind of a mechanical engine issue there. Let's have a look at the top 5 in points while we have an opportunity here right now on a yellow flag. Leonardo Scorpioni currently leading the points with 285 markers, but if you see right there, only 21 points back is Liam Loiacono. And as they run on the racetrack right now, I want to say that Loiacono very close to being about 20 points more. If he's able to win this with fast lap of the race, that is, I believe, there'd be 33 points. And I think 10th place is around 11 points. So there's an opportunity to get 22 points back. He may even take the point lead, depending on what happens here for Leonardo Scorpioni. The Leo, very fast, was able to get into the top 5 in the first 2 races on the weekend. He's not done yet with this restart, really. And this yellow kind of stacking and repacking him, he's going to get a chance to attack. So watch for Scorpioni to close up. But if they were to end the way it is on the racetrack now, we might find ourselves with a new point leader. 3rd spot, Joao Vergara. You can see that he is 49 points back, I think, right now. But again, the DNF here with that issue for Vergara is going to be very damaging. 3 more races still left to go. 99 points on the table as we head to Portland for the finale in just 2 weeks' time. This is looking like it may come down to almost a 2-driver battle between Leonardo Scorpioni and Liam Loiacono. Oliver Weldon in 4th spot in points, but he is 65 markers back. And then Ty Fisher at 209. Still not out of it officially here. But again, he is 70-something points back. So, yeah, it's closing in on a 2-driver battle. Very similar to what we have in USF 2000 with my driver analyst here, Jack Jeffers, with a pretty solid lead right now over Thomas Schrag and Teddy Masella. Well, we have a chance here, Jack, and you've run for championships coming up through the ranks when you were running USF Juniors, of course, on your karting program. You won the Lucas Oil School of Racing Formula Car Series as well. when you go to a final weekend like this, when we get to Portland, what's the mindset going in? Is it point preservation, or is it just go racing?
Just go racing. You have to treat it as it's just the same as any other weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely probably a little bit more pressure, but there's also more pressure on the other drivers who are behind you because they know they have to beat you to catch up. But you have to treat it as it's another race weekend.
That's
you
it.
have another job to do.
How many times have I interviewed young drivers and they've said, all I'm going to do is win races and let the championship take care of itself, right? So we'll see how it plays out. Again, we have great championship battles, at least going to come down to potentially 2 or 3 drivers here in USF Juniors. Same goes for USF 2000. USF Pro 2000, though, folks, already locked and loaded. If you watch the races from Toronto, Max Garcia for Pabst Racing, who has been a model of consistency over the last 2 years, clinches the points with still 3 races to go. He clinched it in the opening race in Toronto. There's still 3 more races to come. He was able to come to a top 10 in race number 2. Doesn't even have to start the races in Portland if he doesn't want to, but I'm sure he'll be there to try to add on points for Pabst Racing. So Max Garcia won the USF 2000 championship in 2024. Now has won the USF Pro 2000 championship in 2025. And I think one of the marks of this for him is he has not missed a lap of competition in 2 years. He completed every lap in 2024. And so far, every lap in 2025. Even the second race at Toronto, when he got looped around, he was able to continue, was able to get home to, I think, an 8th place finish. So for him, amazing. It's nothing but top 4s all year long until that 8th in Toronto in race number 2. But to be able to finish every lap is unbelievable. This doesn't speak just to the driver himself and being able to stay out of trouble, but also the team that car was able to come home with no mechanical issues at all. So let's reset the whole field here as they're working their way around under yellow. You saw that they got the car of Hudson Potter up on the hook, so enough damage that they weren't able to just pull it out and get him refired. Liam Loiacono with the lead over Brendan Cooley. It's been some great racing so far. Cooley's going to get another shot to potentially go at Loiacono here, as it'll be lap 7 when they come back around. I'm going to say we'll very likely go green flag racing, so very likely 3 laps remaining. We still have 13 minutes on the clock, so lots of time within our 30-minute window. Ty Fisher and Vilo Altala have been going back and forth for P3. Fisher now holding the spot. Altala in the 4th spot. Oliver Weldon running in 5th. Patricio Gonzalez in 6th. JT Hoskins 7th. Connor Aspley in 8th. Leonardo Scorpioni working his way up into the 9th spot. Remember, Leo started a little bit further back in the 14th position, so he is +5. Diego Guillat into 10th. Batan Achita runs 11th. Rodrigo Gonzalez in the 12th spot. Raheem Alibi in the 13th position. Kaylee Countryman runs ahead of Emma Scarborough in 14th and 15th. Thomas Nordquist and Maddie Colleran, and then it's Colin Aiken. Aiken with 2 top 10s. Not sure what happened for Colin to drop him all the way down into 18th, but he has shown top 10 pace, and I'm sure will be gnawing at the bit to leverage these last 3 laps to try to get himself back up into the top 10. Hudson Potter, a no start, as I said earlier. Joao Vergara out with some kind of a mechanical going down into turn number 1, came to a stop at the pit exit. And then Michael Suko, as we know, bringing out this full course yellow for the incident in turn number 14. This is going to give Cooley, Fisher, and Otto another opportunity to challenge Liam Loiacono, but he has a lot of confidence right now, knows the race car, feels very comfortable behind the wheel, looking to try to come away with yet another victory. What I do love seeing is this. We have 5 different teams in the top 5, and we talk a lot about the fact that we have equality throughout our paddock in all 3 of our series, but Jay Howard Driver Development leading the way, Exclusive Autosport in 2nd, Zanella Racing in 3rd, D-Force Racing in 4th, and VRD Racing in 5th. VRD, last year's champion with Max Taylor, who is starring right now with HMD Motorsports out at Laguna Seca in the Indy Next program. He's running a full-time program in USF Pro 2000, but man, he's been good in his debut events in Indy Next as well. Full-time next year, very likely, for Max Taylor in the Indy Next series. Another great place to overtake is during a restart. We know that for sure. Drivers lining up coming out of turn number 14. They can punch off as soon as they get to 14. Liam Loiacono is going to be the driver on the throttle. And the green flag is flying, and we are underway. They are going to go wide coming up the hill. Loiacono to the inside of the racetrack. Cooley right there with him, waiting to see if Fisher will pop out there to try to go side by side. Do they work together to try to go after Loiacono? They're coming across the line, and indeed, they're all lined up. There goes Cooley. He'll go to driver's left. Jack Jeffers talking about the confidence of this young man. Instead of staying right there, he's going to try to go to the lead. Cooley's going to go to the outside. Does he hang it this time? No, he's going to tuck back in once again. He'll go to the outside of the racetrack, side by side. Altala, way wide again, bringing it back on. So Cooley doing a great job here early. forcing the issue, trying to make the move on Loiacono, but was able to tuck back in. The drivers up front here are really running strong. And for a driver like Ty Fisher, Jack, he's had 2 issues where he's lost the wing. The points was he was trying to get here this weekend, he's dropped. I think he's realizing he needs to bank some points here. If he finishes in front of his teammate Scorpioni, it's going to be a win on the day.
Yeah, he knows he's got to close up. He knows he has to go on the attack and gain points.
Here comes Fisher to the inside. Watch an over-under coming. He's going to go wide through the corner. Yeah, big move there for Cooley. Over-under on Fisher, who threw it down the inside. I think that may be Weldon up in there as well now trying to challenge. Yeah, Weldon's going to go to P3. Oliver Weldon able to go to the inside as well. Cooley goes back to second with a great over-under as Ty Fisher sent it down the inside at turn number 5. Awesome stuff as they work their way down to 8. Love seeing this kind of racecraft with the youngest drivers of this USF Pro Championship program. Again, remember, this series started back in 2022. It's just starting to bear fruit. Nikita Johnson and Max Taylor, the only 2 drivers who have won in all 3 levels of the program so far. Waiting to see them make their move up, of course, into Indy next to grab that 4th victory. They'll all be setting records because, again, this program wasn't around when the Arenas VKs and the Kyle Kirkwoods and the Christian Rasmussens came through. One driver just dusting the inside of the kettle bottoms there, trying to cut the corner. Loiacono's lead, probably about 6-7 car lengths now, as it's Weldon now up into the 3rd spot. He desperately needs points as well. It'll be 2 laps to go as the driver's still dicing up. One driver a little wide out there down in Canada corner. That's Leonardo Scorpioni, I believe, now right up there with his teammate Ty Fisher. What a great restart for Scorpioni. Again, remember, he is in damage control, trying to keep that point lead away from Liam Loiacono. Scorpioni, lots of wins to start the season. Another driver heading to pit lane with some kind of an issue. But indeed, out of the gate, the Scorpioni was kind of the driver to beat. He and Fisher, Zanello Racing was very strong. He needs to get back on it because the driver of the moment now is Liam Loiacono. Cooley doing an awesome job to hold off Weldon here. You think about a lot of the drivers in this sport and how much time they have in karting. Oliver Weldon's one of those young drivers, like a Max Garcia, who kind of grew up, obviously, in racing, 2nd-generation family, the son of the late Dan Weldon. But a lot of national level karting in the big series, Superkarts USA, United States Pro Kart Series, those major national events, where a kid like Brendan Cooley kind of came into the sport, did some racing at the Audubon Country Club and the kart track there. Doesn't have a lot of experience, doesn't have all that karting experience. Going to go to the outside, almost contact, and Cooley comes across the bow to hold the spot. Fisher back to the inside. This is a Brendan Cooley we haven't seen so far. Jack Jefferson's loving this. I know you get part of the, oh, driver's gone around. One driver around, that is, I believe, Weldon. All the way back across the racetrack, everybody taking evasive maneuvers. So Weldon dropping a wheel on the exit, around he goes. Everybody else settling back in, but let's get back to Brendan Cooley. Jack, I know you work with him a lot. You sit down and look over data. Braden Eves, a former USF 2000 champion, a race winner in pro. His driver coach, I always say that there are breakout weekends. This kid's not driving like the kid that started the season.
I have a grin on my face year to year. I mean, this kid is driving. You look at Brendan back at NOLA and Barber, and look at Brendan now. He's a completely different driver. And the aggression I'm seeing, it's awesome. And I'm glad to see the confidence is finally building.
There's going to be some side-by-side action. Maybe 3 wide down through the kettle bottoms. Man, we don't have a camera right in Canada corner. We do. There it is there. Oh, what do we got coming through? He's going to go back a couple of spots because the Zanello drivers have gone back around. So let's see what Cooley's got here. He's going to go back to P4, trying to get back to the podium. The Zanello drivers run 2-3. Loiacono is long gone. He'll see the white flag this time by, but it's going to be a battle between Ty Fisher and Leonardo Scorpioni. Cooley's just got to nail this because the draft is huge in these cars. Right behind him, I believe, is Vilo Attila. Yeah, see, look at them. They're going to go side by side. This is going to be a big draft for both Cooley and Attila. They're going to try to benefit on those guys going side by side. Attila's going to tuck to the side as well. We're going to go 2 by 2, 2nd and 3rd, 4th and 5th down in to turn number 1. Liam Loiacono loving this, though. Yeah, look how close Cooley is once again. Good job for Scorpioni. Folks, he started outside the top 10 in 2 of the 3 races and has got himself up onto the podium once again, potentially here. What a fantastic drive for Leonardo Scorpioni. If he comes away with the championship, he may not look at his wins, but this fantastic recovery after a horrible qualifying run that put him 17th for race number 1. And he's been able to get himself into the top 5 and back on the box here. So he's racing hard, trying to hold off his teammate. It's going to get exciting. Here comes Cooley. He's going to go to the inside as well. He's thinking about going around Fisher. Oh, so close coming through. This driver's giving each other room. I love it. Cooley covering off the inside a little bit because he's got Attila right there. Velo's on the outside of turn number 7. Good idea to check up for Attila there. I know he had a run coming down to 6, but you do not want to be side by side through 7. Wisely checked up. Liam Loiacono, folks, this is absolutely impressive. This would be 4 straight victories and 5 of 6 for the Aussie. His mom Kath here this weekend, Dad Paul back home down in Australia. Again, a proof positive of the quality of driver you get out of the Formula Ford program. A lot of Formula Ford racing for Loiacono down in Australia. We've seen it with Eddie Beswick as well. It's such a tremendous program. Has developed champions year on year. So this is it. This is the final battle here. Who's going to come away with the Attila again to the outside of Cooley? Going to try to see if he can't hold it here. I think he may have it. Oh, no, they're going to be side by side. Oh, they're bumping and banging coming out of Canada corner. Up through Billy Mitchell Bend. Cooley on the outside. Elbows up for sure. Cooley going to send it to the bottom. He wants the position. Do they get through cleanly? They're side by side. Great stuff. Back up the hill. He'll weave from side to side. 4 straight wins for Liam Loiacono. What a run here to end the season. 3 more races still to go. Coming across the line, 3 wide across the line for the final spot in the top 5. Loiacono wins. A Scorpione second, Fisher third, Gonzalez fourth, Attila fifth, and Brendan Cooley going to come home 6th. Threw it to the inside of turn number 14, and when you do that, you're never going to have a great run up the hill. He'll learn something from that for sure, but nonetheless, Cooley, a tremendous run. Patricio Gonzalez taking advantage of that one. Jack, how about that last lap?
That last lap was crazy, but it's always crazy at this racetrack. This racetrack brings out a lot of battling naturally with just the long straights and how much draft is here. Yeah, it's an awesome racetrack.
Let's talk about this. Really messy yesterday. Of course, race number 2, a number of incidents on track. We had the one issue with Michael Succo going off. But man, really impressive drive for the rest of these guys. You could see they were giving each other just enough room a lot of the times here in turn number 5.
Yeah, they're giving each other just enough room, you know, rubbing a little bit, but rubbing's racing, and they're making a little bit of contact, but I think there's always going to be contact when you're fighting that hard. Yeah, it's great to see from these young drivers.
Good stuff. You ready for Portland?
Yes, sir.
Jack Jeffers leading the points, folks, in USF 2000 for exclusive Autosport. Very similar to the run that Jack has put together, you know, sweeping Toronto, getting the 2 wins at Mid-Ohio. Liam Loiacono doing that right now. Unbelievable weekend for him, as we've said. Just stellar. 4 wins in a row and 5 of the last 6 coming from that victory at Mid-Ohio. 4th in the only other race that wasn't a win was a P4. So Loiacono is going to close up big time, but what a recovery for Leonardo Scorpione, the driver of the number 55, who started back in 14th. Let me go back to the grid. Yeah, started all the way back in 14th position. He goes to P2, and with Loiacono doing what he's doing, he's got to have these runs. Loiacono did not get fast lap of the race. That went to Velo Attila, so that'll be a bonus point for Velo. But Loiacono's going to grab 33 points there, and Scorpione with 25. So only an 7-point swing. So it's a 14-point lead still for a Scorpione unofficially leading into the triple header at Portland. 99 points up for grabs there. So anything can be done. But we may be at the point now where it's essentially down to a 2, maybe a 3-driver battle in the championship fight. Loiacono will bring it in once again, folks. I'm going to head down to Victory Lane. If you're watching on the broadcast, don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Victory Lane celebrations up next.
at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. We are back here on a Saturday morning, just the tail end of the morning, for more action from Grid Life. Kyle Heyer joined by Tom O'Gorman. Tom, the fans have packed it in here. There was already energy down at the festival grounds last night. More energy to build later this evening, later this afternoon. But we've still got some races to kick off. We have yet to race in our Grid Life GT series, which is effectively the IBOT GLTC rule set turned up a couple notches. Relatively small field here this weekend, but should be in for a pretty interesting race with a number of different builds from around the country, you know, community coaching, which I'm a big believer.
All right, folks, we're getting set to go here right now with the award presentations for the final race here in USF Juniors. Let's get things underway for the Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. Race number 3 was an exciting one for sure. Let's get the driver up here, finishing in 3rd spot today for Zanella Racing, Ty Fisher, P3. Fabrizio Mirandola from Morelli will help me out here. Morelli, of course, big partners with the USF Pro Championships. Fabrizio, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Finishing in 2nd with 2 drivers here for Zanella Racing on the podium. Your point leader, Leonardo Scorpione, coming home. P2 from 14th on the grid into 2nd. Logan Knapp from Elite Engines will bring the trophy here for Scorpione. Again, your point leader heading to the final 3 races in Portland. Great job for Leo coming from deep in the field. Leveraged that mid-race yellow to get himself into the fight. But I'm telling you, folks, this is awesome right now. The momentum mid-season. Another victory for this driver, closing up in the championship fight, the winner. All 3 races, he sweeps the weekend. Liam Loiacono! Liam, let's you and I chat, my friend. You obviously have a lot of momentum, as we know. We did the pre-race show together. It's like you knew it was going to happen, right? The car was just really good.
Yeah, absolutely. The car was put together really well by the whole team at J. Howard Driver Development. Spencer made sure that thing didn't fall apart when I was absolutely destroying those curbs. So, yeah, you know, big thanks to them. Couldn't have done it without them. You know, the momentum we're building is quite incredible. So I just knew I could just pull away and stay away from all the battling and try and pull away and let the chaos unfold behind me.
3 more races to go in Portland. I'm sure you'd like to go to Portland right now.
Yeah, it would be good. I reckon they should just run the last 3 races here. Yeah, it would be nice.
Who else do you want to thank today?
Big thanks to Helly, JW Winco, Fitzgerald Equipment for coming on out. Yeah, and my whole family back home in Australia. Mum for coming out. It's a long way from home, so thanks to all of them.
Congratulations. Another victory for Liam Loiacono, folks, a driver for J. Howard Driver Development. Potke will bring in the P1 trophy. He's getting a collection here right now, is he not? What a run here so far. That is 4 races in a row and 5 of the last 6. He has been the race winner. The momentum shift is real, but I'll tell you, Leonardo Scorpione not laying down at all. A big run from 14th up to 2nd. I'm going to say a 14-point lead unofficially heading to Portland. We got ourselves a fight when we get to the Pacific Northwest for sure. One little yellow there for the issue with Michael Succo going off in 14. Otherwise, these drivers dropped the hammer and went at each other in a big way here in race number 3. That was a ton of fun to watch all the way through the field. Great fights. 3 wide across the line for 4th, 5th, and 6th. There are a lot of drivers who really are stepping things up here in the second half of the season. As I always say, they start as rookies at the beginning of the season, but once they get midway through in the last couple events, they can pull that yellow rookie stripe off and get at it, and we're seeing that. Brendan Cooley being one for sure who has stepped things up. Vilo Attila, very impressive as well. The Gonzalez brothers, a lot of guys stepping up in the second half of the season to make things happen. Great way to wrap things up here for, again, this triple header, all part of the Grid Life Summer Apex event. Great to be here along with Grid Life and, of course, giving a group of racing fans a look at our USF Juniors program and the first step of the USF Pro Championship presented by Continental Tire. Folks, let's have some fun. Guys, do me a favor. Grip it and rip it. Let's celebrate another race here at USF Juniors. Liam Loiacono coming away with the race win. Second place for Leonardo Scorpione. And after 2 tough races, Ty Fisher back on the box. Finishes P3. Championship heating up. 3 more races still to go in Portland. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks you for everybody here trackside. What a fantastic weekend. Big thank you to everyone from Grid Life as well. Been great to be here, part of this fantastic program. Shout out to all the guys up in the tower, everybody on the broadcast as well who have been so gracious in working with us here this weekend. It has been a lot of fun being part of the Summer Apex. Thank you so much again, folks, those of you tuning in on the broadcast. We do appreciate it. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.